Tampa. Then I was found guilty, got sentenced to life and 100 years.
And I left that part out. Yeah, life and 100 years.
And then I went to Atlanta Penitentiary.
Wow.
And from Atlanta, that's where they took me down to Benton County. But they had brought me back to testify in a grand jury in regards to drug trafficking in Iowa.
Okay.
And I didn't cooperate at that time. Then they brought me back again, trying to put pressure on me. Mm-hmm. And that's I just gotten. That's why I was in the Benton County Jail. Was the second time. People that were cooperating against me or saying, talking to the government about me, were being housed in the Lynn County Jail.
Really? And
that's how I got to Benton. But the attorneys, that's where it gets sketchy. The attorneys make up this elaborate bullshit about, the government placed me there. And
that was the defense's whole argument.
Yeah, and that was so stupid. Mm-hmm. That was dumb.
Okay. And I think we'll work to that here in a couple minutes.
Sure.
Because that was Honkin's defense. Because ultimately, what you ended up doing in Benton County Jail leads to his conviction. I mean, yes. Without you, and word for word, the Globe or the Des Moines Register said one of the most prolific snitches in Iowa history.
Yeah,
that's exactly word for word. That's what it says.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, and so you're in Benton County Jail, and here's another thing I'm not understanding. How do you come in contact with Angela Johnson? Because that's how you ultimately put the dagger into Honkin.
Right. So I hear a girl, talking, screaming. Mm-hmm. She was kind of loud. But in the Benton County, just like Mayberry, it was on one side of the hallway was females, on the other side was males.
Really?
And they had these little food door traps, food traps they go. They'd open them up and put your tray through the slot. And sometimes it'd be hot and they'd leave it open to get the airflow. And so, we started talking and writing letters back and forth. And that's how I met her.
Wow. I had no idea that would happen, that they would have men and women housed so close to each other.
Yeah. You have to put in this perspective. At this time, I had been incarcerated for 15, 16 years without any females around. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I'm going to talk to the female. I mean,
absolutely.
It's just in the nature of any human male,
Back like you're in elementary school again.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally get that. Now, how are you corresponding with her? Are you like kiting her messages? How is it?
Yeah, we kite, or they send kites.
Yep.
Little messages, or leave them in like the library and books, stuff like that. So
now you guys are communicating.
Correct.
There's a flirtation there. Do you know who she is?
No, I don't even know her name.
I know that's like a big thing in prison, in jail, is trying to figure out why people are in there, who they are.
For some people, yeah.
Okay. You didn't care.
I didn't care.
And it was different maybe, though, than like even today, where it was a little harder to get that information. You probably would have had to be watching TV.
To get what information?
To like see the news and know how... Oh. She was pretty notorious. They were pretty famous.
Yeah, see, I was in Georgia, and they have murders like this every day.
All the time.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal.
But up here, it was definitely...
Yeah, I had to call my attorney. Mm-hmm. And find out who she was. I didn't know who she was.
Okay, so you're talking to her. How do you eventually figure out who she is?
They wake me up like about 4:30 in the morning, drag me out of my cell, and put me in a conference room. And there was the Attorney General, the Iowa Attorney General, the FBI, head FBI guy, and all these big shots coming in there, and they started yelling at me. Literally, they were. This one guy was screaming at me. We know that you've been writing Angela Johnson. We want those letters and blah, all this other. And so that was that. That's when I said, "Oh, go fuck yourself, you cocksuckers."
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
So at what point?
So I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, don't be sorry. Go ahead.
So. Anyway, I go off on them. They slap me around, throw me back in my cell, and all's good. So about 10, 11 o'clock that morning, I call my attorney up. I told him what happened and said the name, and he said, "You don't know who that?" I said, "No," and that's how I found out. And then, of course, I had a packet of all the information that was out there about her sent into the jail to me so I could read up on her.